Hi, I'm Brian Dotson. I'm a family therapist and child play therapist at the Center for Family Transformation in Cornelius, North Carolina. And I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about how you, as a parent, can make the most of this time we have together during the COVID-19 epidemic. I want to talk to you about helping kids manage anxiety, helping them understand the news, and then growing closer as a family through this. So first, let's talk about anxiety. What does anxiety mean? One of the most basic definitions of anxiety is that anxiety is fear of the future. And how much of that do we see right now in this moment? Things are so unpredictable. So let me give you 3 suggestions on how we can deal with anxiety and help manage it for our children. First, provide some shape for their day. So many of us, when we heard that our kids were going to be out of school for a couple of weeks, well, what do we do? For a lot of us, if we're going to be honest, we started writing a fierce schedule down. At 8:30, this happens. At 9:45, this happens. At 10:13 and 13 seconds, this happens. Well, maybe you didn't go that far. But a lot of us find ourselves being slaves to an unreasonable schedule that we made with great motivation and great reasoning. We had a good idea because kids do flourish with some structure. It's important. Now think about how their lives were a couple of weeks ago before all this started. They did. They would get up at a certain time. They had to make the bus, or you dropped them off at school. They had their first classes, and there was this bell that went off and marked their day. Or if they were homeschooling, you as a parent were walking through, hey, it's time to do this, it's time to do this, it's time to do that. And I think that's the best suggestion that I have for you right there. Instead of becoming a slave to schedule, which can actually increase anxiety for your child, how about we provide them with some shape to their day? My pastor is fond of saying, "Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken." This is the time we need to be flexible. And it's very helpful to say to our kids, we want to get up at the same time, we want to try to eat breakfast around the same time. I would tell you structuring meals is good because for a lot of people, they're going from starting at the beginning of the day and then kind of grazing all day long. So there's no structure to their meals, there's no structure to their time, there's no structure to our weeks at this current point. So providing a child with some shape to the day. We get up at this time, we want to eat at this time, you want to work on school during these hours, we're going to have lunch somewhere around here, and then we're going to do some certain things in the afternoons, I have some free time. Providing that sort of shape to their day gives them some sense of certainty in a very uncertain time. And I would even go as far as to say, give them some shape to their week. Have some rituals, some things that are tied to certain days. You know, maybe you're going to go to the park certain days, or maybe you're going to go walk the dog certain times. Maybe that's every day. For me and my family, we found that Sunday mornings are really important that we watch church together. There's certain TV shows that we watch just on certain days. And that provides some shape, not just to their day, but to their week, which helps along the long stretch to give them a sense of continuity, which is very important. And it helps reduce anxiety because it gives them some certainty in very uncertain times. So let's talk about 2 other pieces to managing anxiety as well. One is going to be really obvious, but for many of us, we started 2020 saying we were going to exercise this year. Well, pandemic or not, are you doing it? Exercise has been shown again and again through the research to be just as powerful as antidepressants and various drugs to help stabilize mood. Few things are more powerful than getting out, getting your heart rate up, and sweating a little bit. Hey, get out in the sun. I'll tell you, my children actually said to me today when they looked out and saw it was raining, they said, "Can we go walk in the rain?" Hey, you probably are thinking kids are all they're going to want to do is look at screens. But you know what? I'm hearing from parents over and over and over that as this time at home stretches out, kids are getting tired of looking at screens. And they're anxious to get outside and run and play and laugh. This is a great opportunity to do something that helps them manage anxiety. Get them outside, get them some exercise. And as you're doing that, you might find that you'll also have another opportunity to reduce or help manage anxiety. Time to connect. Walking the dog has been wonderful for our family. Besides the fact that our dog loves it, it's a chance to chat with our kids, to talk about how they're processing things. For many children right now, this is a time of grieving. High school seniors being the most obvious. I would suggest if you get a chance, Google Brene Brown. Go look her up on YouTube and watch her video on empathy. One of the things that Dr. Brown points out is that connecting with people, having a real sense of empathy, seldom involves the words "at least." And a lot of parents are struggling with that right now. In an effort to help kids have a better perspective, I've heard parents say things, well, at least you're not going to Vietnam like they did several decades ago. Those seniors, they graduated and went straight to war. Well, that's true, but that's not necessarily helpful for your child or for the kids that are going through this today. Especially if you have small children. Little kids are wondering where are their friends, are their teachers okay? Maybe going for a walk gives you an opportunity to talk about these things. Maybe it's as you tuck them in at night. Again, shape to the day. If you haven't done that, this is a great time to in our family, we pray together at night. It's a great opportunity to go in and just connect for a moment, and it helps reduce their anxiety because they get an outlet. They get somebody to talk to. And I would suggest you as a parent, do the same. Find a way not to just connect with your children, but use FaceTime or Skype or Zoom or VC, whatever your app of choice is, if you need to, in order to connect to friends that are here, the support group that you have. Connection is important. It helps reduce your anxiety. It helps manage the child's anxiety as well. So speaking of anxiety, let's talk about the news for a minute. So a wise psychiatrist that I know up in Boston recently said this to me, that there's something that I do and something that I don't. Here's what they said. I do check the news on a regular basis. I don't watch the news. For your child, if they're online, they're looking at the news. Oh, sure, maybe they're getting it through some social media sources, which is a whole other issue. I would encourage you to talk to your child about trusted sources for medical information. Facts are great to combat fear with, right? So there's a lot of fear-mongering going on. So how about some hard facts? And you know what? Sometimes the facts right now can seem very hard and seem very overwhelming. But your child knows what you're feeling. Kids are remarkably intuitive, and they can pick up if you're trying to withhold information from them or if you're afraid of them looking and finding the information. Listen, they're going to look and they're going to find news. So I'd encourage you to shepherd them towards trusted sources like the CDC, like the World Health Organization. Point your child toward the people who have studied and have proven track records in dealing with epidemics and medical issues. We all know somebody who's a nice guy, who's a plumber on Facebook, who has his conspiracy theories. That's not helpful. It's not helpful for you. And your kids are probably coming across the same sort of wild conspiracy theories online. So encourage them with the news. Help them understand. Be honest with them. I love what was said about Winston Churchill during World War II, that part of his strength was he provided leadership by telling people the truth and at the same time giving them hope. He told them over and over, this will be hard. There will be great challenges in front of us, but we will make it. And I encourage you to tell your child the truth. Be honest with them about the news. Shield them from conspiracy theories and from fear-mongering, absolutely. And encourage them to look at trusted sources. Do check the news. It's helpful to know what's going on, but don't watch the news. Make sense? All right. So finally, let's talk about growing closer with family through all of this. So one of the things we found that is particularly powerful is this idea of family rituals. During this time together, as a family, we made a conscious choice to say we want to try to eat dinner together, to sit around the table. It's not always easy. Sometimes, we're like a bag of cats. Everybody's going every direction, right? But when we have made the concerted effort to sit down together, good things happen. Maybe it's a family ritual of trying to do game night, to play some Uno or a board game or something together a couple times a week. Maybe it's a ritual of praying with your kids at night when they go to sleep. During a time that's uncertain, just as we said during this discussion about shape to their day, during an uncertain time, one of the best things you can give your child is some predictable moments. Some predictable moments together as a family are incredibly powerful. They bond us together. Secondly, if you want to grow closer as a family during this, have reasonable expectations. I love what a friend of mine recently said about educating his high school kids during this time. He said he was so stressed out, and then he realized, wait a minute, I'm not having to put them through college. I just have to shepherd their learning right now. Even our educators are understanding part of this is that we have to, again, as my pastor says, be flexible, right? Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken. You've got to relax, lower the expectations, and understand you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. Be realistic about your expectations. Nothing about this process is normal. We've never lived through this before. So we're all learning as we go. So be kind to yourself is my last part that I would say here. To grow closer as a family, be kind to yourself. That has a lot to do with your expectations you have about you as a parent, you as a spouse. I don't know what you're thinking you need to be during this moment, but I can tell you this. I believe in God, and I believe that the Lord is with you even right now, and that you can make it through this. So let me encourage you. This is an opportunity. Seize the opportunity. Famous author Viktor Frankl has said that if we have a why, we can figure out the how. Why are you here? Why are you a parent? Why do you care about making the most? Why did you watch this video? Because you want to make the most of this opportunity, right? You have a reason. It's your child. Give them your best during this time. Show them grace. Show yourself some grace. You can figure out the how, okay? Be kind to yourself. You can grow closer. You can seize this opportunity. J.R.R. Tolkien, in his Lord of the Rings stories, has this powerful moment where he basically says this, that we don't get to choose the times that we live in, but we get to choose what we do with the time. You make the best of it. Be kind to yourself. Be realistic in your expectations. Do everything you can to find those little moments of family ritual. It helps provide shape to your day. It helps reduce your child's anxiety. Again, with the news, check the news. Don't watch the news. Encourage your kids to find good sources. Throughout all this is really about all of us learning together how we can be the best that we can for our family. I want to finish with showing you something over my shoulder here. Look at this back here. Every family has a story. Welcome to ours. What story are you writing for your family right now? Let me encourage you. Write a story of hope. Write a story of courage. You're going to make it through this. Thanks.